Yo, what's up YouTube? So I just hit plat 1 today with my Shaddoll deck. I'm gonna go over that with you guys. Here I'll just go ahead and show you my. So I hit plat 1. I had a really bad losing streak yesterday. I just got super unlucky, and then a lot of people were starting to play like Barrier Statue and Eldritch and stuff, which is can be kind of tough for this deck. Not It wasn't too bad once I redid the list a little bit, but so yeah, you should probably start expecting that once you get a little higher up in the ranks. A lot of kind of cheesy stuff like that. So let's get into the profile. All right, so it's kind of what you would expect from Shaddoll, Dogmatika, Invoked. I think I've seen a lot of people just playing Shaddoll Invoked and dropping the Dogmatika. I really think that's incorrect because the Dogmatika were just so freaking good against everything that's on the ladder. And they're really, really good for when you get Maxx C because you can kind of use them as like a reliable play that you can put up on the board for only one special summon essentially, or two at max because you don't want to get that you don't want to get out tempoed by the Maxx C. So my deck was basically built with Maxx C in mind, knowing that everybody's basically going to be playing it, and knowing that I was going to play it also. So I played the deck very reactively. I didn't play. I wasn't just like summoning construct window pass blah blah blah. I was not. If you're playing Shaddolls that way, you're doing it incorrectly. At least in this meta. So yeah, so just play the deck reactively. And here's what we got. So we got 3 Maxx C. That's self-explanatory for anybody who's not like a Yu-Gi-Oh. Like if you haven't played the game in real life in a long time, this card is banned in the TCG, which means America. Yeah, well, like anywhere that's not like anywhere that's Western, basically, it's banned. Um, but in the OCG, like Japan and all that kind of stuff, it's at 3. And Master Duel uses the Master Duel uses like a combined, I think it's combined, like a slightly combined list of the TCG and OCG ban list, and they just happen to put Maxx C at 3. A lot of people are, I think, upset about having it at 3. I personally don't care. I played Yu-Gi-Oh while Maxx C was legal in the TCG for a long time, and it can be a bit of a sacky card sometimes, but a good player can play around Maxx C and also use Maxx C to its max potential. Like if you're just going on your opponent's turn and as soon as they start dropping Maxx C, you're not doing it correctly. Like there's so much better ways to doing it. And then it also, if you are summoning multiple times into a Maxx C, you're also doing it wrong. So yeah, self-explanatory for anybody who's played. So for the Shaddoll package, I did 1 Hedgehog, 2 Windy, 2 Squamata, 2 Dragon. That's kind of weird, I think, but I liked it. And then 1 Aerial, which you have to play the Aerial. Oh, and then a Beast for the draw power. So it's a pretty large Shaddoll package. I think a lot of people have cut back on those, but I think the way that I want to play this deck with Maxx C and everything is I actually do want to have some Shaddolls in my hand. That actually is very like favorable sometimes, especially because you have just so many like hand traps and things that can stop you from summoning from the deck, or they can stop Shaddol fusion. You just kind of want them in your hand. At least I did. So yeah, that's pretty easy. Shaddol deck, you have Shaddolls. 3 Alistair, blah blah blah, normal summon Alistair, ha ha ha. But in all reality, this is such a good card. It gets things going when you have nothing going. You can take problematic cards out of your opponent's graveyard with invocation. You can summon amazing cards, really, really good super poly targets, all kinds of stuff. Alistair is amazing, especially with the meta that's going on in Master Duel right now. So I can highly advise playing any variant of a deck that plays Alistair right now. And then so for the Dogmatika engine, I kept it kind of small. I didn't play the trap. I just played 2 Ecclesia, 1 Fleur de Lis, and then one Maximus. In all honesty, Maximus kind of one of the best ones right now, because you can kind of just, you know, if your plays get stopped, or if your Winda or Construct or whatever fusion gets destroyed, you can summon this out, and you can plus with or not plus, but yeah, you can plus with App Clone, and then you can send Natis, however you say that, and pop a card on the field at the same time. So you can gain a lot of advantage using this card. It's really, really good. Fleur-de-lis is also really, really good. There are a lot of times where you may not be able to summon him for the effect to proc because your Ecclesia is not on the field or whatever, because you are playing a smaller package, but this stopped me from losing games a lot. It got over large attack monsters when I couldn't special summon. It discard, or when I couldn't summon from the extra deck or something like that. This card was really, really good. Ecclesia is really, really good because it's like a summon and a search. As long as you do this last after all your other plays, fantastic. So that card was great. Played the one Terraforming to search out Meltdown, because Meltdown's at 2 in this meta, which is kind of not great. I know a lot of people don't like playing with Meltdown at 2, and then also Nadir at 1 for the Dogmatikas. It's kind of weird, but there's so much draw power in this deck, and so much like almost like stalling. You can stall really well. So you can always get to these cards. I don't know why people are freaking out about having one Nadir Servant or having 2 Magical Meltdown. It really, really does not matter, especially not with all the draw power and stuff that you can do, and the way everybody's kind of playing in this meta right now. It doesn't matter. 3 Shaddoll Fusion. This card's still one of the most broken cards in the game. I mean, send 2 Shaddoll monsters from your deck to the graveyard in order to special summon one of these amazing monsters. I mean, it's crazy. It's always been crazy. The only thing that sucks is you have to watch out for Ash Blossom, because everybody's running Ash Blossom. But it's okay. We're running cards to mitigate that, and then on top of that, I'm running 3 Ash myself. So 3 Ash, 3 Maxx C. That's your hand trap lineup. That's all you need, really. On top of that, we got 2 Invocation. That's super standard for anything playing Invoked. You don't want to play 3 because you really just don't want to clog your hand up with them, because they're so easy to search out. But 2 is perfect because sometimes you're going to activate it without having an Alistair to shuffle it back in your deck and stuff like that. You just don't. You just want to have 2. Trust me on that. Lightning Storm. I know it's kind of weird playing a 1-of. I don't generally like to play like 1-ofs unless it's, you know, on the limited list, but I don't generally like playing 1-ofs. But I was running into so many decks that were just able to play around all kinds of things. They were putting up monsters that would keep me from special summoning, or like Eldritch with all their back row. Just having something to pop back row or something on the field is so, so good. And if you don't want to play this, you can play Raigeki or Harpy's Feather Duster, either one. I'd recommend Harpy's probably, because back row was really prevalent because of the Eldritch deck. So I would advise that. But yeah, I kept this in here because I had so much draw power. Generally, if somebody was putting up a board or back row that I needed to out, I could usually kind of draw enough or play slow and then keep drawing with like recurring Shaddoll Beast or something like that to get to this card. 1 was fine. If you are having problems with back row, you could probably cut some of the stuff in this deck to add some more back row remover, like Twin Twister or more Lightning Storms, whatever. This one, Lightning Storm, is kind of hard to play in this deck because you're playing Meltdown and so much summoning and stuff that you kind of always have something on your field. But this was really, really good going second. I probably went second 80% of the time. I just liked going second because I was playing this deck reactively, like I said. So having this going second after your opponent puts up a bunch of back row or a big board or something is just so fantastic, because it either baits a negate, or it gets rid of a field, or it gets rid of all their back row, and it's just sometimes just kind of a blowout win. So I do love this card. So yeah, like I said, the 1 Nadir, I know it's kind of weird playing with 1, but it is what it is. It's a really great card, so you're going to play it, you know. So Triple Tactics Talents, fantastic card. I would play 1 more if I could. I don't think I could really fit the 3rd one unless I run the deck up to 41 cards, and I generally don't like doing that. But I might make an exception in this case going forward. I'm not sure. But this card is just so good. It mitigates, like, if you get Maxx C, it mitigates that card advantage. It lets you play into it a little bit more. Um, and so that your opponent doesn't get card advantage while you can still make some plays and don't die the next turn. Really, really good. The take control of one of your opponent's monsters until the end phase is also just freaking fantastic because nobody's playing around that right now. I don't know why, but nobody plays around triple tactics. So they're always like leaving monsters in attack mode or like just summoning, like overextending and putting a monster on the board that's really detrimental to like if I take it or something like that. Really, really good. I don't think I ever used the third effect, but there are scenarios where this would be really fantastic. So for those who don't know, you can look at your opponent's hand and choose one card from and shuffle into the deck. So yeah, triple tactics, probably my MVP of the deck. So good. Wish I should probably play one more, but deck space is tight. 2 Meltdown, that's self-explanatory. Searches your Alistair. Alistair searches your Invocation. So the whole Invocation package, fantastic. 2 Super Poly. I'll get to this a little bit later. I think if you're not running Super Poly, you're just not playing this deck to its fullest potential because this card is so broken. It's a blowout almost every time you activate it. And then I play some cards to even make it even better in the extra deck. So highly recommend playing Super Poly in this deck. I play 1 El Shaddoll Fusion. I know people don't like El Shaddoll Fusion anymore. I personally really, really like having that 4th fusion. It kind of goes along with how I said earlier, I like having Shaddolls in my hand. So if I have Shaddolls in my hand and I can get, and I have this card also, or just any of these cards, or Invocation, like basically it bumps the spells I'm playing up to 6 without playing a 3rd Invocation or without, like it's just having an extra Shaddol fusion card. It's really, really good. You can also play on your opponent's turn with this card, which is also another reason why I'm running it, because in a Maxx C meta, when your opponent Maxx C's you, it gives you the ability to just stop your plays, set El Shaddoll Fusion, and not allow them to plus off the Maxx C, and then just summon your Winda or Construct or whatever on their turn after Maxx C is over. So it really lets you play around a lot of stuff. I love L in this deck. I think I did run it at 2 for a little while. It was getting a little cloggy with all the fusion cards. But you could run 2 probably if you wanted to. It's really, really good. I highly advise running this card right now. Called by the Grave, self-explanatory. I mean, it stops Maxx C, it stops Ash Blossom, it stops random cards that your opponent's using. You can banish like troublesome monsters out of their graveyard when they try to activate effect. This card is fantastic. If I could play a third one, I definitely would. I mean, it's so good. And then I played the 1 Shaddoll Schism for those cheeky Schism plays on your opponent's turn. Another way to play around Maxx C. You can pitch Schism with your App Cologne, send something else, keep the Schism, set it, summon on your opponent's turn if you get Maxx C. Just really, really good. Definitely would play the Schism. I didn't play the Dogmatika trap card. There were so many scenarios where there was monsters stronger than the cards in my extra deck, and I didn't want to play something just for a pop for the trap card, so I didn't play that. So yeah, that's the main deck. And then for the extra deck, we play the 1 Natis, because I mean it's just broken if you Natis with Nadir Servant. It's broken when you use with Maximus to pop a card on the field. It's just really, really good because you get to pop and then plus. It's so good. I played Kaliga. It came up a few times. I mainly just have it as a dark target, but it really, really is a good card with Winda. This card with Winda can really just win you a game sometimes. If you don't feel like thinking a whole lot, it really can do that. Then I played Mud Dragon of the Swamp. This card is so freaking good, man. If you're playing Super Poly, play this card because 9 times out of 10, your opponent's going to summon monsters that have the same attribute but different types, and then you can summon this card with Super Poly, get rid of 2 cards on their field in order to bring this out, and it also has a really, really good effect. Like this is just such a good card. If you're playing Super Poly, you should play this. It's really, really good. So also 1 Shaddoll Winda. It's hard having 1 Winda, or one. I'm only playing 1 of Winda and 1 of Construct because of extra deck space. I've maybe a few times needed a second one of each, but very, very rarely because the Shaddolls really, really aren't the focus of this deck. Making the Shaddolls isn't the focus. The focus of this deck is playing reactively and keeping card advantage over your opponent, and then winning once you have card advantage. That's the whole key of this deck. Play the one Raijin. It's just a win target. It's a really, really good fusion monster. You should definitely just play it. It came up several times. App Cologne, I play 2, mainly because I have a Maximus and I have Nadir Servant, so if I ever need to send both, I can always just, plus off my Shaddoll monsters effects and stuff like that. It's a really, really good card. And then also just as a summon off of Schism, you can negate a monster on your opponent's side of the field. Really, really good. Definitely recommend playing 2 of these. Purgatrio, self-explanatory. This game will just win games for you. You play Ash Blossom, so you have a fire target always. So if your opponent's in defensive mode trying to hole up, you can just summon Purgatrio and win the game. It's such a good card. Construct, self-explanatory, best fusion monster ever. You summon it, you plus, automatically destroy special summon monsters. We love Queen Construct over here. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, another super poly target. So freaking good. This card is so freaking good, man. Like, if you're playing against a dark deck, this is just a free win if you have super poly. The fact that you can like copy a monster's effects with it. It came up a couple times, not a whole lot, but that is there. Just you should know about it. It's really freaking good, man. You can just straight up summon this and just win the game. Really, really good, man. Invoked Dagoides, another really, really good target for your Invoked engine. I recommend always playing this because it's a free pop when you special summon it, and that can really help out a lot. And then also to make the attack bigger, you can get over problematic monsters. Super highly recommend playing Dagoides. 2 Makaba, discard a card, negate a card. Really, really good. Play 2. Secure Gardna, and then Almirage. I like playing this package. It gives you a fire monster, it gives you a light monster. Just highly recommend playing these 2. You can also play the what the heck's her name? There's a rank 1 or link 1 spellcaster monster that you can play instead of these if you want to free up some extra deck space. But I recommend playing these 2. So yeah, that's the list. I'm going to go into a few games that I played. I'll just throw them up for after this video so you can kind of see the deck in action and how I played it. I'm sure there's probably some misplays or something in some of these. I haven't really combed through them very well. But yeah, that's my Shaddoll Invoked Dogmatika with Maxx C LOL deck. So yeah, thanks for checking it out. If you enjoyed this content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, comment what you think of the deck, comment what deck you're playing down below. Let me know. Thanks, guys. See ya.